Zach, welcome to the podcast, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
You've watched me build this thing out since
I have.
the very beginning. Now you're here, and I'm excited to have you on because I want to talk some topics, fitness wise.
Yeah.
I want to. You and I, we hit the gym on a regular basis together, and we have some conversations. And there's been a lot of seeing the new side of the industry and where things have gone over the years and just your path through it. And I want to get into, I would love to talk steroids.
Yeah.
It's such like a taboo, dark thing for people, but it could actually be a pretty vital tool if you use it correctly.
Totally.
You know, me being 40, I want to jump into what it would take for me to just get my body and get back on track and what we got to do for that. And then just talk industry-wise. Like, you've trained a lot of ladies and a lot of men to step on stage and compete, and you're kind of pulling away from that a little bit. And, I want to talk why. And the real side of the fitness industry is kind of where I would like this episode to go and just have fun with it. And so I guess if you want to give me an intro, man, who you are, where you're from, and we'll just jump right in from there.
All right. So, Zach Pulkinen. I wouldn't say from anywhere. I was a military brat. So both parents were Air Force, 22 years, and so it was new scenery every 3 years. You know how that goes. So North Dakota is where I ended up graduating high school, and then went out this way to play soccer my first year. Ended up in Minnesota, northern Minnesota, to play some football, and like anyone else, I had those dreams of being a pro and all that, but it just wasn't good enough. But chased that dream for a little bit. Somehow ended up with a chemistry degree. Don't know how that happened. Well, I do. Our one of our coaches was the head of the chemistry department.
Okay.
And Ken Traxler, and he's like, yeah. Well, they dropped the pre-pharmacy for program, which that was my deal. That was my plan. And he's like, nope, you're doing chemistry now. I said, yes, sir. And so that's how that went.
Don't you love a good coach?
Yeah, it was great. But no, I appreciated that. And so I ended up playing football. Played a little indoor for a little bit while I was finishing my degree and chasing that dream still. And but tying it back all into to fitness, I always lift. I grew up on military bases, so you know how that goes.
You're around the fit life.
You could go into one of those gyms and smell it. Mm-hmm. You know what that smell is.
That's funny you say that, man.
Can smell that gym.
There's not many gyms that, especially good military gyms, have that
old school man. This
plates.
Is. Yeah, this is where work happens. And that's what it was back then. My dad taught me everything he knew about lifting, and not lifting was not an option in my family. Even my mom, mom and dad, all right, weekends we're going to the gym. Cool. So I grew up in these old school this was what? So I started dinking around in the gym when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. And we were in Germany, we were in Maine, we were in, of course, Mountain Home here. And I'd go in the mornings with my parents to the gym, and man, it was different back then.
Yeah.
It was, no one had their phone out,
Oh man.
Everyone was just getting it, man. It didn't matter who saw you, who was there. It was cool. It was hardcore still then, and things have definitely come a long way. Definitely.
That they have. I mean, just me growing, being on a military base. That's when I put it on. I put 100 pounds on, and when I was in the Marines, and literally.
What else do you do?
That was it. You know, and
you're lifting, you're eating.
It.
Work.
I mean, there's a lot of bullshit they had us doing, but once you got in that groove of things, man, that was life for so long, and I would love to go back to those bases now, like Pendleton, on those gyms, and just see if it's still. Yeah. There are some giant dudes when I was there. It was fun, and everybody supported everybody, and now it's like going to these gyms. I went into this one right here, this new one here.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there looking, and there's 6 kids all on, the little incline bench that you could adjust. Yeah. Every one of them, they do like a set, some half-ass set, and then they're just staring at their phone.
Wearing pajamas. And
10 minutes. They're sitting there and just
man, yeah, and that's
watching.
not.
I'm like, God, bro.
Dude, if I rolled up back then, like someone was beating my ass, either my dad or one of the other big guys in the gym, just saying, "Hey, we're not doing that."
Yeah.
Like, you want to do this? Like, that's cool, but we don't do that.
Yep.
And I feel like some of these youngsters need to be snatched up like that, and like, hey, this is gym etiquette.
Yeah.
This is how this works.
Yeah.
And just the hardcore days. Not to say hardcore, and I don't even like that term really, because it's just what's your type of fitness.
Yeah.
And yeah, some like the garage gym style, just banging old school weight, and that's cool. Some like the newer, aesthetic gym, that's cool too. But man, back then what was common was just hard ass work. Yeah. Work. Like, and that's one thing, like, I know he'll probably watch this, dad and mom, but shout out to my dad. He whooped my ass growing up. I did not like my dad growing up. He'd be like, I was stoked when he went on like TDYs.
Really?
Yeah, because like then I knew I had a little break to like rest and shit, because we're talking, he taught me like, yeah, you're going to go to practice and then you're going to work harder after. Or like Saturday mornings, like he's like, get in the truck, we're going to the field, and we'd run, because I played soccer all growing up. In Germany I got really good. But he's like, yeah, you're going to be the fastest dude, you're going to run till you puke. And I did, and then, yeah, that was just a small break and keep going.
Do you appreciate him for those days?
So much.
Do you?
So much so. Like, I can't tell you how valuable that is. And, like, just to know that I had that instilled, like, that work ethic, that, because now I feel like it's so lost.
Do you see that a lot with now with this generation? Totally. I say generation like I'm some old fuck.
Yeah, right. No,
but like you do a lot of training, and you're dealing with a lot of. I mean, for Christ's sakes, you train Christy, so you're training from young teenagers to guys my age. I mean,
right.
You see a big difference in that, in the drive of actually wanting to accomplish these goals in the gym.
I've gotten to a point. So I've been training clients one-on-one for probably 8 years now, and as a trainer, every trainer is going to know this, but you build up to basically a point where, you like don't need to advertise anymore. You kind of take on, that's where I'm at least. That's where I'm at, is like built up. I have everyone that I train works their ass off, and I'm their trainer. Like, everyone has their cup of tea. I'm not everybody's trainer. I'm a kind of, hey, we're going to get these reps.
Yeah. Like,
I'm here. We're getting these reps. And you're going to feel like ass tomorrow probably. But we got to a new level today. Mm-hmm. I've had to, and I don't say fire, but just kind of, we're not going to train anymore because I'm not your cup of tea type deal. And that's okay.
I feel that everybody has a different, it depends on how fast you want to get to your goal, I guess. But
100%.
But also I watch some of these trainers and they're like scrolling on their phone and their clients are like moving, whatever half-ass weight. I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to spend the money, set this goal.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Your trainer should be into it as much as you are.
Exactly. Period.
And your trainer should be healthier looking than you are.
Thank you. Yeah,
these are things like I see in the gym, because we go to
a trainer. We've said it 100 times. A trainer, you gotta look the part, because you're gonna have clients that want to look like you.
Yeah.
So you better market yourself according.
Yeah.
Like, that's number one. But yeah, the pulling your phone out, like, and then I love the we're both just not going to talk to each other. Just awkward. Mm-hmm. Like, you could be across the gym and you see that and you're just like, God damn, that's awkward. And absolutely not. Like, come on. Like,
you're deep into the people business. So if as a trainer, I feel that you need to be learning your clients, knowing your clients on a personal level, but also with that. Okay, so gonna ask.
Yeah.
Male, female trainers.
Yeah.
Absolute shit show.
Yeah, like
absolute shit show.
Yeah.
From what I've seen through the industry over the years, I feel like, I don't know, man. There's just such this taboo thing because you see it. I mean, you're in the industry. You've been around long enough. Yeah. Fortunately, you and your wife have a lot of your work together as a team on it. So I think in that case, cool. That's that's a when you have a husband and wife and you're the coaches and your clients getting double tapped from both, cool. But I don't know, man. I see these dudes and they send their wives off with these trainers. They're yoked as fuck.
Yeah.
Recipe.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. I mean, the fitness industry is insane, just like any other industry. But yeah, there's a lot of good-looking people in it.
There is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a.
You want to deal with drama? Work at a gym, a big gym.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how that goes.
I could imagine.
Yeah. So so my wife, she deals with it more than I do, but she's she does her thing at the gym, manages it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into competing, man.
Yeah.
You competed. You stepped on stage quite a bit. I've been with you through your preps, and it looks like absolute hell. I mean, what's the next step for you?
So yeah, just my background in competing. Probably did my first show like 6 years ago now. I was still in the oil field working. I was actually working back and forth in West Texas, flying back and forth to Houston on prep. Not smart, but did it anyways. And then what helped me the most was always taking at least 2 years off. Okay. So I'll tell anybody that, unless you're getting feedback from the judges like, oh, you're right there, take your time. Okay. Take 2-3 years off. I know that sucks because everyone in this industry wants to be, pro level tomorrow.
Yeah.
But just take your time. And that's, what I did. At least 2 years off every time, and I came back better and better every time. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I'm a firm believer in that. I think the very select few, very, very select few can go pro and actually make a career out of it.
Really?
Yeah, because you have a better chance of just being an Instagram influencer and going that route than you do a pro bodybuilder. There's no money in it. Zero. It's a money pit.
Really?
Yeah. Especially with the females.
So competing.
Yeah. And time out. I'll go back to why I even went into competing bodybuilding. So obviously growing up on these air-based gyms, Dad taught me, bodybuilding. He had the Flex magazine sitting there, Muscle and Fitness. And yeah, I saw it open up, Jay Cutler, Ronnie. I'm going to do their chest workout, do their back. And that's how we got information. You remember that shit. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to order protein, you did it from the back pages of that, and then early days of GNC. But man, I remember I'd rip pages off in the gym, like Lee Haney's back workout. All right, I'm going to do that. And had this little folded up shit in my gym bag. But, that's how we did it back then. And so going through, I always, I was always in the gym. I taught my family, was like, we're doing this every day. We were 5-6 day week lifters or workout. I was running a lot too because I played soccer. But it was like, we're not going to sit at home and just be lazy. We're going to the gym. We're working hard. So fast forward, thought I was going to go pro in football. Had to make peace with that dream. And then I was like, man, what do I do? I just started in the oil field at one of my working for one of my buddies at Baker Hughes. It's now GE, but I was a chemical service representative, slaying chemical in the oil field, and I was like, I'm not an athlete anymore. That was such my identity, because growing up college ball, you have this like brotherhood, and then you're lifting with the boys. It's like some of the best lifts ever, like insane. You know it, like you play ball, like you know how that is, and then you go to not. And like for me, I always needed the gym, like for my mental, like everything. Like I have to go to the gym. I'm one of those. So I didn't have that, like, what are you training for anymore?
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, I like the gym. I'm going to still go. So I guess I'm going to like bodybuild now. Bodybuilding in the term of literally building up my body to look good. That's it. Like, no, didn't think about competing. No, none of that. If you would have asked me then if I would ever compete, I would have said no. But you know, things change. And then, so I met Laura, and she was a trainer full time at one of the big cities next to us. And she was she was like, I need to know how this whole deal goes. She prepped herself. She, you know, did all this research, watched all this YouTube. That's when YouTube fitness was really kicking off. She watched a lot of Christian Guzman, so the Alpha Elite CEO. That was back when he was getting going. And she needed to know that, how it felt and how to go about prepping so she could, in turn, coach clients.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which is what you need to do.
Makes sense, yeah.
You cannot, as a trainer, put someone through something that you've never experienced. That's a no-no for me. Like, you have to know how bad like the hunger is, how bad the aches are, mentally how tough it is, physically how tough it is. Like, so she did that, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll support you. Well, I guess I needed to learn the nutrition side of it more. So I was like, I'll do this prep with you, I was like, I'll do this prep. I'll essentially just cut, and like we do like a photo shoot.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. And this is back, you know, this stage in life when we would like eat a whole pizza, go into bed, and just wake up just shredded. It was awesome, right? Yeah. So that I was like, met her. I was in full bulk, stupid, like dirty bulk, eating a ton of like family size, damn pizza rolls, and like she's got her little, and I felt bad, so I was like, I need to clean this shit up. And, you know, I'd been thinking about getting into training. It's like, I just need to learn it. So that's when I started, like, actually taking it serious. And then you take it serious, it's weird. You grow. So I put on I was like 200 pounds, probably retired from football, and then put on like a quick 20 and like look good. So I was like, well, maybe I can compete. So that's how all that basically came to be. And then, you know, just the hunger for more as I was, you know, younger is like, I do want to get better. And like, I was always going to bodybuild. And at that time I thought, oh, I need to compete if I bodybuild.
Yeah.
No, I wish someone would have smacked me in the face. Yeah. You don't have to do that. And like I kind of realized this in my last prep. I went to Vegas to train with Neil Hill, Chris Gethin, my good buddy. He got me hooked up with Neil, and I trained out there with him. And man, it was just I was in prep, and that was like the funnest time I had in a while. Was like just training.
Yeah,
he kicked the fuck out of me. Like, it was tough. It was good. Like, learned a ton of stuff, but man, it was just fun to train. And I was like, and personally, I really don't like this stage. I'm not one of those that can stand up and speak in front of people, and never like that. And like, I don't like the light to be on me. Like, I'm good. Like, if we all stand up and line up, cool. But like the routine and stuff like that, I don't really like it.
Okay.
And show day is super, super stressful. Anybody that's done it knows. Like, it's like all this prep. So think about like a 4 to 6 month prep, being on it for just like total of maybe 10 minutes.
So you're prepping 4 to 6 months.
4. I can do 4 because I lean out pretty fast.
Yeah.
Some people do like 8 months.
So there's people that are doing up to 8 months of a prep to stand on stage
for no less than 10 minutes.
That's insane to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I look at people in the gym. I mean, Ricky and all these dudes these guys that go through these preps, y'all are fucking miserable.
Yeah. And it, and
the closer you get, the worse it gets.
And it should be. By the way, prep is a choice. Anyone that's like, oh, you don't have to do it. You do not have to do it. And
but that's what it takes.
That's what it takes. It does. It takes literally it takes literally thinking about getting out of your car to go into the gym to do fucking cardio sometimes.
It's that bad?
Yes. Mentally. And once you get going, it's fine. And I just got to say this before I forget. If you've never competed, don't ever walk up to someone in prep and basically even talk to them. Just don't even do it, because you have no idea what they're going through. You can't comprehend it. You never will. Mm-mm. So don't acknowledge them.
That's the worst time to distract anybody.
As in that moment, I don't have an ounce of energy for you if you don't understand what I'm going through. Mm-hmm. And I'm an asshole, and so is everyone else, and you should be, because it sucks.
What sucks? What's the worst part about prepping for a competition?
So I think it's all mental, right?
Okay.
Because anyone can go in and do, go lift every day. Go do this lift. Yeah. Easy. It's the food. The food, and then you got to prioritize sleep. And then, I mean, you do have to, I think a really good coach is important, because I mean, you and me, we could shred up, boom, we're going to go run 3-4 miles every day, cut those carbs, but we'll lose that muscle too. Mm-hmm. The key to good prep is slowly just burning that fat off and keeping full muscle. And that's a whole art in itself.
How do you do that?
It takes time, and everybody's different. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's there's no rhyme or reason. Get a good coach, and then you got to start to figure out what do fats do in this instance? What, how do you react to carb cycling? What foods are you sensitive to? Everyone's different. Got it. And so it's that's also funny when people do preps with coaches and they do one prep and it sucks. It might not go right.
Yeah.
And that's usually the first one for a coach is let's not do anything crazy. Let's see if we can try some things, because that first time is a shot in the dark. It really is. Mm-hmm. Then you get to know your clients. But it's funny when people do bad, they're like, coach's fault. I'm out. Go to a different coach. Well, now you just started that over instead of giving them another chance to learn your body.
And to build a foundation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of the new industry, honestly, is there's no loyalty anymore. People just jumping at
paychecks. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I don't like that they jump brands, they jump coaches, and it's just, there's no loyalty anymore.
Yeah.
And I get it. Those people at that level, they have to make money too. I get it. But it's just kind of sad when you see the young kids look up to these people and they're just just all over the place with shit.
Well, then I feel and this goes for every industry, is that if you're a brand hopper, a homie hopper, you never are able to build a credible name, because you're just going with whatever subs are going to give you this, or whatever company's going to send you this. And then you see these guys, and it's funny because I'm not in the fitness industry. I guess if anything, it'd be more outdoor world, but even with that, I'm done with it. But it's just, you see one guy and he's telling you how great something is for a season, and gets all these people to buy in on it. And then the next season they're on something completely different. Yeah. This was better because, and you're just and then over the next couple of years, you just watch these people go from company to company, and it just ruins everything.
Well, and like nowadays there's such I don't know what you would call it. Like these youngsters think they can be these influencers, and it's like you have such a slim chance of that. Like I know maybe 2 people that I've seen it happen, and it's wild, life changing.
Really?
Them blow up in the fitness industry.
Really?
From nothing to like
What'd they do?
world recognition. It's a look.
Okay.
And then they get that opportunity with the brand, and a good brand, that will take care of them all the way through.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just start blowing up, but it's a gift. Like either you're funny or you have the look or something that people like, but I feel like all these kids think that they can do it so easily. And it's like, no, like that person that I'm talking about, she works her ass off.
Oh, I bet.
And what's cool about her, she doesn't care to like film her lifts. She works her ass off, and that's why I trained her. She just moved, but like they get to that point because they work hard, not just because they're like, oh, let's set up the tripod, let's go through some motions. Like it's a lot more than that. And like also too, you can't I feel you can't rely on just the social media. Like you got to have something else there. These kids going back to competing, they're throwing all their money into competing, and they will never even get first call outs in a show. So like they'll never win a show. They just don't have, one being genetics. I don't like that though. You can outwork genetics, but work ethic, not there. And just like discipline, not there. And you can't tell them like, listen, you're never going to amount to that. Like, but they just want to compete. And like the girls' bikinis, there's thousands of dollars. So show day for a girl, guys get it so easy. We buy this little mankini, get the tan, golden, done, right? Or my trunk, like custom trunks were like $50, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, girls, all the bling. So just the bikini, probably a couple thousand. Then they got to wear all this jewelry, fake jewelry shit to just be blingy.
Really?
They get graded on this. Yes. And earrings, all that shit.
Hair, makeup.
Full makeup. That costs a couple $100. They usually get their own tans because all of them are different. And hair. It just adds up for the girls.
So for prep day, after going months and months and months of just working hard, busting your ass, then you're paying thousands
to go to a show. Yep.
To go to the show, plus to compete at the show.
And the NPC, IFBB, they're just raising their prices. It used to be like per class. When I started, it was like $20. Now it's like $150.
Just to compete?
In one class. So if I have a newbie, I'm like, I really want you to do, amateur. And then the open, that's $300 for 2. Sometimes they do more than that.
Yeah.
And like with the older classes, masters or open, so masters is 35 plus. Forget about you're going to pay all that for that? And I get it, it's a money thing, but at the end of the day, I wish I would have realized it sooner, and I would like to tell more people, you can bodybuild and love bodybuilding. Don't even call it bodybuilding. You can love weightlifting. Don't have to compete. You do not have to compete. Like, why don't you just train to look good naked? Boom. Easy, right? You don't have to go on stage.
I feel that's the point where I'm at in life, where it's like I just want to look good. I want to feel good.
Yeah.
I don't need to compete. I don't need to think about stepping on stage. I want to live my life where I can travel, I can eat clean on the road, but also if I want to have a fucking badass meal, I could do it and not have to worry that my whole entire week or month is ruined because I'm on the road for a few days. And I feel like so many more people would be so much happier like that.
That is what I realized after training with Neil. It's just, I love training. I love it. I'm going to get more sessions in with him. I just want to learn because I love one-on-one training because I'm you've lifted with me. Like, it's all about form and you got to feel it. And I just want to learn more from the best to ever do it. No, I don't need to step on stage again. Maybe I will. Like, I'm going to be 35 at the end of this year. Maybe I'll step on stage for Masters, but it's just right now with, in my life, it's just I am so good with just bodybuilding. Yeah. And if I do want the added discipline and something hard, then I'll just cut. I'll cut into the summer, We're going to we're going to get you right for the summer.
I need to. It's time, dude.
Yes.
It's time.
We're going to get you right for the summer. Literally after this, we're going to order all your stuff and do that.
Let's jump. Okay. All right. So
segue.
Segue.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're on this topic.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm 40, bro. I'm 40 and
when 40 you'd be like, "Damn, you're old."
But
you don't feel old, no.
Fuck no, dude.
Yeah,
no.
It's like the best.
Especially, I'll be honest, in the gym, there's a lot of days, like especially the gym we work out, there's some massive human beings in there. So besides those dudes that are just absolute gorillas of human beings, I look at them like, bro, I feel like I could hang.
Yeah.
I feel like with the whole range of that age group
why don't
in there.
You talk about because I know you played ball. I don't know if a lot of people know that side of you. You played football, hockey, growing up. I know you're lifting with the boys. You know how it goes.
We had the greatest coach in high school. He ended up getting fired because he was too much. Imagine a drill instructor straight out of Marine Corps boot camp, and then they dropped him as a high school football coach.
Awesome.
With no
So all the kids loved him, but
parents didn't like him. Then he had some soft ass kids. Yeah, and it was all politics during that time. And he was the greatest coach ever. And that dude, he's who turned us on to the gym. We had a whole gym built onto our school during those years, and incredible state of the art at that time. And that's what got me started. And I was like, and he had programs. This dude was evil. He was absolutely evil. But that was like how your dad.
Yeah, sick. They're sick.
It became life though.
Yeah.
And that was just the norm.
You become that. Yeah. You're like, and then once you see it, that you're like, oh, I can outwork you any day of the week. It's so addicting.
And I feel now at this stage right now, and I took some years off, I use it as an excuse, and that's what it really was.
Yeah.
There's no excuse, but I used it.
No, I didn't hardly see you a couple of years because you were
on the road,
guiding and this and that.
As soon as I get into a groove, and I'll be like, hey, dude, I'll
wishes trip.
I'll see you in 3 months when I get back from wherever I'm going, and it's been really tough, but I've tried to maintain. And so now I'm 40. My only thing that really I can feel myself is getting stiff. And so other than that, though, I feel like I could still move some weight. I could still just move my body. But I would love to legitimately lock in to a program and we start it. And I want to start in the next couple of weeks because I'm going to do a fast.
Yep.
I'm shooting for 10 days, but I think 7 is my goal, depending on how I feel at 7, because I want to get started on this journey, but I want
a reset.
I want to reset, man. I want to reset my immune system. I need to reset my guts.
Yeah.
After my brother dying of fucking cancer, it helps rebuild all your stem cells. It helps fight cancer cells.
Yeah, eat cancer.
Your body goes into this survival mode and rebuilding mode almost. And I feel at 40 and everything I've put my body through with the inflammation and just breaking bones and collapsing a lung and all that shit.
Yeah.
I feel like, cool, I'm ready. I've healed from that last accident. I finally feel that I'm good. And so now that I'm turned 40, I'm ready to get back to where I can be comfortable. I would love to be somewhat lean, but I want to live a happy life. I have a bakery, bro. I
want to have, some sourdough at the end of the day. Yeah, that's right.
So like, where do we start, dude? Where would I even start on this?
So, with everything, we it's always get your blood work done.
Okay.
Got to see what's going on. And I'm a big advocate of, the TRT, which is supplementing testosterone.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think the range is, everyone who takes this knows the range is so big. And for doctors to say, if you're just in the range, which is 400 to 1200, you're good.
That's not a range.
Yeah. What?
Chunk.
Yeah. You're in that region over there.
That exactly. Yeah.
But honestly, that's why it's dumb, because literally, let's throw a number out there, 600 to you. 600 test. Come back, blood work. I got, my count's at 600. You might feel really good. You're awesome. Because let's say you were functioning more around the 2s or even less. And I'm at the same 6 and I feel like dog shit. Maybe I need to be at 8. Maybe I need to be 1,000. Maybe you do. I know big dudes like you, over 6 foot, over 240 pounds, that do very minimal. And they can get by with that. But their natural is what? 500, let's say. They just need to be right at that 650 and
they're cruising.
It's euphoric.
Okay.
It's motivation, sex drive, pumps in the gym, clarity, all of it.
All from just that, a little tweak.
Literally. Your hormone, it controls, your thought process and attitude and mind. There's a reason why, your hormones got to be in sync.
Yeah.
To function optimally.
Okay.
And so I would say for anyone who hasn't got their blood tested in the last 6 months, just do it. Just see where you're at, especially men. Because
what age do you recommend?
Well, I mean, you're gonna start losing. They say you're gonna start losing. Your natural test is gonna decrease in your early 20s.
No shit.
Yeah, but I know my buddy's grandpa is 87. And he has 1,100 tests.
Good for that dude.
Chases his wife around still,
yep.
Naturally. And but there's a lot of it. That's another story. But that dude works his ass off still, in the gym. 87.
Yep.
There's a reason for that, know. So it's I would say yes, we're gonna get your blood work done. Do you have to go straight from blood work to TRT? Injecting? No. There's a lot of other shit. Okay. I like it because it seems, and I like test E.
Okay.
Okay. So usually doctors would probably test cypionate because it's a longer chain, stays in your system longer, so less injections, if you will. So I like test E because I don't necessarily want the big valleys and the big peaks.
Yeah.
I kind of want to stay right in there. And that's helped me since. And if we're going to look way back to when I first started steroids.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's go there.
Okay. So your first cycle you ever ran.
Yeah.
We're going to talk.
Holy shit.
Let's talk steroids because it's such a
it's
taboo. It's got such a stigma on it. I mean, you got the guy that walks around the expos like natty or not, and people get so offended over it.
Yeah, some people that's we're fighting, and some are let's talk about it.
Yeah, and I feel so. My very first cycle, I put on 19 pounds in 20 days. I got up to 200 and I was stupid.
Oh my God.
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
No, we all.
I'm just filling syringes and just.
Well, tell them time frame. This is the same time frame. No Instagram, no Facebook.
This is before
no nada.
Yeah.
This is hey bro, you're big as fuck. What are you doing? That's it.
And you know where I was getting my steroids from? Were narcotics cops.
Yeah.
Undercover narco
Imagine
cops
that.
were my fucking plug for all my steroids.
No.
Go figure, right?
Yeah.
And nobody, and then I didn't know, man. And I'm just Test, Deca,
You don't
Sus.
know. Yeah.
Like I'm just fat boy stacking.
What the homie gives you, you're busting it down.
Like this with this, this with this.
Oh my God.
And that's how I did it for years. I mean, dude, I was in the Marine Corps. And I'm 290 pounds in the Marine Corps. Just
shredded. Stupid.
People were looking at me
showed
like,
me. Yeah.
Looking, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta
drug tested.
Yeah, I gotta chill out on this, you know. Right. But it was just so dumb, and that's where I couldn't breathe, I couldn't run. I mean, I would walk up a flight of stairs.
You know what's wild? These kids are doing that now, and they have all the info in the world on it,
and they still can't do it right.
They still are dumbasses.
Okay, so steroids.
Yeah. So
let's talk about your first cycle.
Mine was kind of like that, but luckily I started super light. So I was playing football. I was 21 years old. My roommate was getting big, and he same love for the gym. That dude played hockey, and he was not an enforcer at like 260 pounds. 6'4" on skates.
Jeez.
He was a dangler. Anyways, amazing athlete, but huge. Like, would warm up. This is where like you're in college and like that one dude, and you're just like, I'm just gonna watch you do your thing, bro. Yep. Yeah, he would warm up 405 decline. He's like, just stand there. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, don't touch it, just stand there. It was like a mental thing for him. Mm-hmm. The whole gym would stop, and he'd just. I'm like, dude, wow. And he's like, yeah. So his older brother was down in the cities, big dude, just massive bodybuilder. And he's like, hey, do you guys want to start? And I knew of steroids. I didn't know what test was this, sus that, trend this. And he's like, luckily, he was like, this is what you do. Just he did give me test E. It was like, yep, twice a week. And it started super low, which is, I'm glad he did that. I didn't know what dose to take. And this is when I should not have started when I did. I'll be totally honest, should have waited. No one should start when they're 21 like that.
What age do you recommend? So
I should have got blood work done.
For sure.
And then at that time, I would have been like, I probably would have still done it. You couldn't have told me nothing.
Yeah, dumb. I get it.
How he did it, well, not how he did it. He wasn't trying to convince me. What it was is he's like, listen, you're going to recover. You're going to be able to train harder. And I was like, I'm going to the NFL. So I'm like, give me that shit. I don't care. I'm going to the NFL. Okay. So I trained hard, and I took it, and I gained a bunch of muscle. But luckily I was on such a low dose. I was on like, honestly, no more than 200, which is a great place to start. I would recommend, like, even you, like, 200, see how you feel. You know? But that was good. Came off. He taught me how to PCT, which is post-cycle therapy. Taught me a lot, man. Like, back then I didn't know that the vials came with the powder, and you get your backwater. I, like, sent an email. I was like, this froze, because I was in Minnesota. This fucking froze. What the fuck? And I'm like, have to do my PCT. And I'm like trying to like pop it open to see if it like will go back into solution. And they're like, no, add your 1 ml of backwater, idiot. Like, I'm like, gotcha. No, but I didn't know, bro. That's the thing. I didn't know. Right. So luckily, and I wasn't doing blood work. I didn't give a shit.
No.
If you'd have told me white dog shit, eating it would have got me to the NFL, I would have ate white dog shit. I don't care. Like, that was my mindset.
Yeah.
Funny story. We were getting drug tested, and I was like, oh shit. Luckily, it was for marijuana.
Okay.
And I was like, and all the dudes smoking weed were like, fuck. And I'm over here like, yes, we're good. Because my test is probably like, you know, it's up there because I'm young, plus I'm running stuff. But no, so that was my first ever cycle, was 21, still in school, training my ass off, partying my ass off. It's not good. But yeah, I mean, luckily he taught me. We didn't teach me much. He told me, do it this way. And then just from that, like, knowing what I know now, is like, God, he could have really fucked me up.
Yeah.
But he did care about us. And so it was just tests, no other. I didn't run any other, like, no mass, no other orals till like 28 when I was like done. I was just doing the little bit, like, test, little bit, like 12 weeks off.
Yeah.
That was it. And put on good weight, like slow and steady. I was never one to, like, do a bunch of the orals and, like, put on weight, like, real quick. Yep. I never had that. I always heard the stories, and I always thought that was awesome, but that was never me. I think I got a hold when I started doing my, like, first show and stuff. I got a good coach that, you know, knew and put me on protocol and kind of taught me some stuff. But yeah, that was my first go at it. And it's wild to, like, look back then. Like, there was nothing. Instagram literally probably just started when I was 21, but there was no, like, it was all taboo, man. You literally had to go ask the big dude in the gym, like, and hopefully he's not a psycho, you know, running, because we know those dudes running 750, and then 500 tren, 500 mass, orals on top. You're like, dude, how aren't you dead right now? And so that's another point I want to touch on, is, like, the drug game has gotten almost out of hand.
What do you mean?
So back in the day, it was harder to get. People didn't do it as much because the industry didn't have as much interest.
Well, not as much light on it.
Yeah, because it was the old school. It was you're a meathead, you know that, and now it's like, oh, you're weird if you don't go to the gym, like, which is cool, but it's a different dynamic. But with the competing, you're seeing younger and younger, and this is where I think social media has negatively affected the fitness industry.
Okay.
It's got these, everyone, you know, young, whatever, everyone looking at, you know, looking their best and wanting those results overnight. And the young kids are turning pro sooner and sooner, but they're taking way more drugs earlier and earlier. Because once you start a cycle, there's no really going back under that. It's levels. Like, you're not going to get that same results back there again.
No.
You got to go up. And they want to do it fast, so it's up. Okay? So that's one thing I'm glad I did not do. Always came off good. But with drugs back then, and we're talking, if I talk back then, probably Arnold days, pure. Arnold was getting drugs from his doctor, who were his buddies.
Yeah.
That's a different story. Not the local drug dealer, you know? So it's a lot more pure. We have way more sources now. People, you know, counterfeiting stuff, cutting stuff, and you're still getting, it's still illegal. You're not just going down to the store to buy it, you know? And so, and with the peptides and all this, there's so much to, like, keep up on. And there's so much, or I say, so many more ways to really fuck your system up.
Well, and I feel with these kids, there's so many of these young, just yoked out dudes on social now. Because I got a teenage daughter, and I see the boys, and I hear what they're talking about, and all of them are just, they all want to run cycles at this age. These, like, 16, 17 years old. And I feel there's nobody really out there talking about the side effects and the long-term side effects that these kids have no idea what they're getting into. And it's scary because you got the Tren twins. I mean, those guys, their names built off of that. You know, you got the Suliks or whatever that are just, these dudes are just giant, but they're eating a bowl of cereal before bed. That's like old school shit. And I feel like these kids, they're looking up to the wrong guys because they don't have and I'm not saying these dudes were any better, but the Dorian Yates and our era guys
Right. But they weren't like that. There was such a respect there.
Yes.
And those are the guys that almost like wouldn't talk about it to just anyone. Like it's like, it's almost like a gatekeep. But though back then, those guys knew who was like serious and who wasn't. Now it's just like free for all.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's true. Like I watched, as much as I could and read about Jay Cutler. Like, what was he doing? This and that. But it's like, now it's just, oh, trend twins are running this much at this age. I got to do that too, Mm-hmm. And it's like, just look at trend. Just read the side effects of that. And by the way, I've ran trend. I ran trend the last 3 preps, such a small amount. Like we're talking 150 is the highest I got.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's actually a bunch of articles now that actually microdosing it would probably be better, just less toxicity.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story, but we're getting back to they see these people and what they run, and like on social it's like, oh, name your cycle. Like there's a bunch of guys that do that, like, hey coach, rate my cycle. And those are good because I think the guy doing it really like is like, dude, that's way too much and shit like that.
Okay.
But there wasn't that when we were there. No. So it's like they have all this. That's where I mean where they have all this access, and they're like, bro, these kids are running like over 500 tests, over 5 shit I've never even touched before. The highest, I'll tell you right now, the highest I've ever ran test, 500 on full blast.
Mm-hmm.
I got blood work done, and I was running SUST 250 twice a week, and at 200, and I was over 1,000. Like it was almost off the chart. So they were like, come down. Like, I'm good. Less is more.
Yeah.
Less is more.
But these kids aren't thinking of that.
No, they're thinking, oh, more is more muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, more is if you actually fucking work hard and go to failure, go to bed, eat your food. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Not, there's no magic pill. You know what I mean? There's no magic pill. And I do, like, going back to, you said when we started about how I don't want to keep going into coaching competitors.
Yeah.
Is because mostly of the drugs.
Really?
Yeah. And I cannot, and it's mostly my females, I cannot justify putting them on what some of these female athletes, pros, are on. I can't do that to them.
I watched these videos and these from the Olympia or wherever.
Yeah.
And these guys interviewing, and they're like, "Are you natty?" And these girls and these women, and what they're cycling, and then they always ask, and what I find interesting is all of them said they were natural till they wanted to go pro, and the only way to go pro is you have to do steroids, male or female, like
pretty much, yeah.
And they're like, in order for me to compete, I have to get on a cycle, and in order to even just think about getting a call out or anything. And that's where the sport's probably been there for a while, but now it's like that, there's no way.
And then that's what, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. Like, do your thing. But when these kids think that's it, no. Like, and it's so hard. I've built up some great athletes, and I have a couple young girls, and they want to be pro like tomorrow. And I'm like, you're 16. A couple of these girls I've gotten when they were 16, and phenomenal athletes, great work ethic, but they see this toxic bullshit on Instagram and they compare themselves to it. And like wellness, right? Wellness is like the new cool thing. Big ass, big thighs, small upper body, awesome look. They want that as a young woman.
Developing woman.
Yeah. And I'm like, time out. I want you to literally go home and see what that girl looked like at your age. Compare that. Because my girls are light years ahead of that shit. But it's the hardest part is telling them, no, we're not running any cycles. We're just going to food, and lift hard and rest.
Yeah.
You're still in school. You're still in high school. You can do this forever. Let's just build. Let's build a base, And then, I've lost girls because I won't put them on certain stuff.
Really?
I won't do it. And yes, they will. 100%, if I add some of these compounds in, they will look a lot better, but I will not do it.
So this is the interesting part about the fitness world, and to me, and I've kind of said it for years, is how because I watched Britt go through a prep right before she got pregnant, which was we have no idea how it even freaking happened, but
right, I could tell you how it happened.
Yeah, but the craziest part was what she put her body through. And I've never competed. I've never had the urge to compete. Not my thing. Even at I was my most giant, ripped out of my mind, it was never even a thought. Right? But I watched Britt go through this.
Yeah.
And like her period stopped. She lost her period. I mean, she was a zombie. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, this isn't healthy.
No. And
this is not
point
healthy.
Right there. The health and fitness industry is not health. Is not the health industry.
No,
it's so far from it.
People that try to justify them being in the fitness industry as healthy, oh my God, like bad. I look at like Chris Gethin.
Yeah,
that's the health industry.
Yeah, yes,
that's health industry. The competitive side of the health industry, I feel, is the biggest scam,
and that's why he doesn't do that shit anymore either. Yeah, no.
And it's like, how do you try to tell some young kid that's trying to compete, or some girl, hey, chances are you're gonna lose your period, you're gonna have all these side effects. If they're not running gear, then you add gear to it. That's even worse.
Yeah.
And then these girls, their voices are changing, their bodies are changing, and that shit doesn't go back on a woman a lot of the times.
No.
So there's a lot of permanent side effects from these women competing, and it's very obvious once you've seen it.
It is. And like I put girls on stuff, Anavar, Clen, but some of these girls are like, they're taking tests, they're taking insulin, they're taking like mass, and that's fine, but like quantities that I wouldn't put on some young men.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't do that. Like I'm good. Like Anavar, awesome. The side effects are very minimal. That's why we do that with females. But like this harder stuff, this toxic stuff, I can't do it to these girls. Especially like, I know my clients, they want to have families, later in life. And if like, say something happened and then competing was part of the reason they couldn't, I wouldn't like that. Not one bit.
Yeah.
So I've made peace with it. Going forward, I have my clients, I'll prep them. They've been whatever. I don't think I'm taking new ones on as far as doing their whole prep.
Yep.
I want to be one-on-one with people, and I'm going to make training programs. That's it. Like, I'm making you one for 40-year-old dad, get shredded.
I think we do it, dude. And I think we turn it into something where, I mean, it's a huge demographic of guys out there. The military dudes, retired.
Like you said, bro, because I've gotten with, because, I have a 3-year-old. I want to be able to, like, run with her.
Yes.
And play till I'm croaked,
Mm-hmm.
So I can't do that if I'm just bodybuilding. I got to add some functional stuff to it.
Yeah.
We got to move. We don't move like we used to anymore.
No.
So like implementing, shit like hot yoga and stuff like that. I need to do that more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be in your plan too.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at, and that's like more so who I want to like kind of help going forward is like, let's get you back to feeling and then also looking like you did mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I could do it too. I feel it just takes that structure that I haven't just focused on. And
it's with you, we just, like I told you, you got to live too. So you guys have the sourdough company. You can't not eat that. So it's a matter of, let's time that so you're uptaking it, right? And it's balance at the end of the day. You can make it work, and you asked me yesterday when we were lifting, like, how fast can that happen? Well, it can happen pretty fast, but how disciplined do you want to go with it? Like, there's a happy medium. You want to cut? We can do it. You want to get there by an end date? That's a different story. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I think we do it. We get you where you want to be, and then go from there.
I think we should do it.
Yeah.
I think we build out some plan, and then that way we could almost document the thing, or at least I'll do it and show, man. Like, if I'm 40 years old and broken and as beat up as I am, and if I can do it, but I don't. I want to be able to live. These are my requirements. I gotta live.
Non-negotiables.
These are non-negotiables.
Yeah.
I want to be able to have a strict diet, but I want to be able to eat whatever I want,
easy,
not whenever I want. But I don't eat super dirty now. Yeah. But it's just the sourdough. I got to be able to travel. That's the thing. Like, I'm on the road so much, and I'm not gonna always have and I want to be able to eat food that I enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part for me is I'm not going to eat fucking steamed vegetables, sweet potato, and boiled chicken every day.
No.
Now, if I was stepping on stage, cool.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah.
I want to, 40 years old, man.
Yeah.
Those days, I want to be able to have, but it could be clean. And if it's portions and that's what I have to dial in, cool. And if it's eating more meals a day to make up for those 1 or 2 big meals I'm eating now, perfect. I'm cool with all that. And it's not even the work part. The work part in the gym is cool. Like,
that's easy.
That's the easy part. It's the diet for me.
It is. With, dads and busy individuals in general, sleep. Like, it's got to be a priority, Yep. You don't do that, you ain't going to do anything. And then what's good is, like, you don't drink anymore either. No. That's big. Like,
and I'm honestly, when I do this fast, I'm going off everything.
All of it, yeah.
Everything.
Nice. That's how you do it. Yeah.
So, I don't know why I jumped back on so quick. You're peer pressure me to get back in, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll decide.
Yeah, you'll decide.
Yeah.
But no, I went completely sober off everything for over a month. It felt great. I think that's how I need to start this, is to do a pure cleanse and just start. And then that way I can drop some weight, get a good start. And then I'm not coming back in just eating full meals. It's very small.
No, and that's the only thing is, like, going forward, like, with that is, and with most people, is going to be diet. Just how you got to make it work for you. But most people aren't eating enough. So your body's like,
I'm 100% guilty.
You're not. Yeah. You're definitely
100%.
not. So we got to up that frequency so your body knows it's getting protein every 3 hours, and that they're not big meals by any means, but to let your body know, hey, you don't have to store this as fat because we're going to be eating.
Yeah.
So that, everyone's different, so that might take a little bit while, but once that is kicking, that metabolism's going, golden. But it's just getting there. And it is hard to break, those habits. It is. Mm-hmm. It's not a overnight thing.
I'm one of those people, if I have to break a habit, I have to do it cold turkey, or I'll never do it.
Right.
If I get a little taste of something, and I know if I remember what it tastes like, I'm fucking in.
Yeah.
That's my problem. So I have to, and it sucks. Like, whenever I'm done with something,
jump in head first. Then.
So that's where I'm at, and that's why I think, because I have to get that colonoscopy. I know it's next week.
Oof.
Because it's,
there you go. Yeah,
I got to do it every few years since my brother passed, and it's already been a few
blood
years.
Work too.
Colonoscopy, blood work. I guess once my blood work gets back, who local should I go see? Is there anybody you recommend?
Yeah, Caleb.
Doc Caleb.
Doc Caleb. Shout out Doc Caleb. Muscle Doc.
Fuck that dude. He is the most perfect specimen of a human being.
Yeah.
Like, he's got
the most injured. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a picture. I'm not saying fuck this guy it's pure.
No,
it's pure out of jealousy.
He's a beauty. Yeah.
This dude, if women could probably in their mind build some 40 Shades of Grey motherfucker, it would be this dude. He is such a
doctor.
He's got beautiful head of hair.
Ranch head. Yeah.
He's just your all-American.
Meathead. Yeah.
Fuck that dude. He's on posters all over the gym, and I look at him like,
no, he's our doc.
Yeah. Okay.
You need a doc that lifts. I believe in that. So
yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna hit him up.
He's my meathead doc.
We should get him on here on the show, and I'll have him talk about everything.
Totally
but
need to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get with him, get that scheduled, and then that'll be my first step. And I guess we could just document this for.
Let's do that.
For all, if there's any other dads that want to follow along or hit you up and whatever. I mean,
DMs are open. I love helping people out. So it's all good. Yeah. Just hit me up.
What's the number one thing you see people doing wrong in the gym? I know there's probably a lot for being a trainer, but what's a big mistake that you see that you're just like absolutely irks you in the gym?
So I would say it's a dynamic of people that you see year after year after year with no change that really want to change. Mm-hmm. That, and to me, with just a little bit of work, they could get where they want to be, but there's not that extra gear.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I don't train certain people, but, biggest pet peeve though is just if that not old school, gym etiquette, if you're disrespecting that, get off your phone. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're setting up tripods. I'm not one of those. I don't care.
I'll be honest with you. I'm going to interrupt you. For an older guy in the gym,
yeah,
I support that.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool because it shows your gym's full of life. You got people in there that are trying to...
that care.
That care.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Just don't be a dickhead.
And if somebody walks in front of your camera, shut the fuck up. Yeah, if you're going to make a face, we're going to have words. But
yeah,
I support people in the gym filming shit because if it's helping somebody else and they're giving proper tips or whatever, and dude, I support. Yeah. But it's the...
Yeah. If I ask you, you're on your phone.
Yesterday, bro.
And you have... Yeah, you better get to it, or we're sharing.
Dude yesterday.
Yeah.
You asked him, and he's like, "Oh, I got 2 more," and goes back to scrolling for 5 minutes.
I know. I don't do well with that.
No.
I have to bite my tongue at that gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not I don't know. If I would have done that shit back in the day, I'm telling you, someone would have snatched me up and said, "We don't do this."
Nope.
So I'd love to do that. But they get all butthurt. But, I can't do the pajamas in the gym. I don't know where that started.
That's a her generation thing.
Yeah, totally.
That's a young...
But you don't see, the guys do it more than the girls. The guys are wearing PJs more than the girls.
Legit PJ pants.
By the way, and I'll say it right now, women work harder in the gym than men.
Really?
1,000%.
Really?
1,000%. There's no ego. They lift slow. Very slow, and usually to feel it, guys are just in there jerking off mostly. You know what I mean? Fucking ego, let's try and press people.
Yeah, I get it, dude.
Yeah.
I get it.
Girls,
I was that dude for the longest time.
And I think a lot of girls can go heavier. They're mentally, they have that block. But no, I train more females than men because they listen really good. They're very coachable, especially if they're athletes. And yeah, they work their ass off. They really do.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's cool to see, especially the young ones. My young ones cannot work all like most dudes. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's funny story. The 16-year-old, she'll get hit up by, she's a junior. So she'll get hit up by dudes at her school, cause she's a beast.
Yeah.
And hey, let's get a lift in. She absolutely buries these kids.
Really?
Buries these little broccoli-headed shits. And she's yeah, it's they went and puked, and then I finished my leg day.
No shit.
Good for you. Don't lift with them anymore. Don't let them ruin your leg day ever again.
Because if they're on your
level, they don't get it. That's where I'm at. There's levels to this, and you got to have that 6th gear in this, and a lot of them do. But the girls, girls can get after it, man. They work their ass off.
I believe it. You see it. You can see the dynamic in the
man.
gym.
They're motivated by having just the nicest butt. If you just like their motivation, let's have a nice butt for the summer. They're on it. They're getting it. You just remind them every once in a while, on it.
But a dude's like, oh, God,
yeah.
do this.
You're like, damn it, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely hate working out with you sometimes, though.
I hate working out with myself, too.
There's days in there where I question our friendship.
Yeah.
After leg
Totally.
day. Leg days are,
yeah.
They're horrible.
Yeah.
They're absolutely horrible.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know how to explain it in words. None of your leg workout from start to finish, none of it feels healthy.
Yeah. No.
None of it feels like it's benefiting
it's
my body
not
at
good.
all.
If it works. Yeah. I mean, I'm known for leg day, so that's good. But
yeah, it's bad when people walk up, they look at me, and they're like, "Are you doing leg day with Zach?" And I'm like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah. Well, I don't tell you anymore that we're doing leg.
No, because I'll always text.
Yeah. What are we hitting? Crickets.
Now I know.
Don't worry about it.
If you don't respond, I know it's
you just
leg
know.
day.
Yeah.
So I can't keep track of your fucking workout schedule.
I know.
It's so random, and like I'll go in there fully mentally prepared for leg day.
And you have to be mentally prepared for these.
I literally sit in the parking lot for 20 minutes, prepared myself for leg day, and I'll go in there. You're like, we're working shoulders today. I'm like, thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. Or you just go back out and get your mind right and come back in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so question for people listening. There's so many different styles of lifting weight.
Yeah.
From what you've done over the years and what you've experienced, because we've all gone through different phases through the industry, right? There's always something new. There's always a new fad or a new style, new type of training.
Yep.
I feel like it all goes back to the basics.
All of it.
Every time. Yep. What do you, for people that are just wanting to get into it, or these young kids that are just looking to put on size before getting into any of the supplements, any of that shit, what do you recommend? I mean, what is a basic style of working out that you do? What type of lifting do you recommend?
So,
and I know everybody's different.
Yeah, so all mine would be hypertrophy based. So not looking to increase strength necessarily, not powerlifting, but hypertrophy, so gain muscle size. So we're looking at, I like higher reps, unless, you're working a little strength, periodization, but I like that 12 to 15 mark. I love adding clusters and rest pause. I don't think you have to reinvent the wheel.
Explain the cluster and rest pause.
So clusters would be, you're pushing, let's say, through a leg extension, and then let's say you get 10 reps, you probably could have got 12. You shut it down, get a couple of breaths in, get 5 to 6 more, shut it down, 5 to 6 more. So you're taking just little breaks in between clusters of reps. Those suck. So those are larger clusters. I call them rest pause. Clusters is where you take it almost to failure again, but then you take a less of a rest and less reps. So if that makes sense. So you get your first initial cluster, okay? Rest, 1 or 2 breaths, get 1 or 2. When you can't get 2, try and get 1, then you're done. And that's the type of training and I'd always done the clusters, larger ones, but Neil taught me more so his style of training, which is Y3T.
Okay.
Very industry known. And he's produced some amazing athletes with that. But that style is just one variation of the clusters going to failure. And those are good because when you don't have someone, you ain't getting those extra, you don't have someone, say, on a press or on legs and helping you get that last one. Shut it down right before that, rest a little bit, get a couple more. And you'll be surprised just adding that in, and that's not sustainable, by the way. That's not an every lift, every single lift, every week deal.
Yeah.
That's getting through plateaus, and really in your pushing phase, you're putting food to work phase, So I like that. I do not like barbell movements per se. And with that, Olympic lifts, unless you like doing them and have the skill for them, I don't think you need to do them, honestly.
What do you mean? What do you consider Olympic lifts? Deadlifts,
so like deadlifts,
sumo squats, all that shit?
Deadlifts. Deadlifts are good, but again, there's so many ways to mess them up. People do them wrong all the time.
What are the scariest workouts? Where do you see most people getting injured in the gym? Doing what workouts?
Recently, actually, overall, I would say powerlifting.
Really?
Yeah. I see knees go in powerlifting, backs, not so much in bodybuilding, hypertrophy, because it's very much so slower, controlled, time under tension, all that.
Yeah.
And whereas, powerlifting, that's just explode, get it up type shit. But
can I say something and not be completely judged or hated on?
Yeah, go for it.
This is just my point of view. This is my observations. I'm not trying to trigger nobody, but why is the powerlifting industry the most unhealthy looking motherfuckers you've ever seen in your life?
Exactly.
I'm not hating.
I'm going to stir the pot here. I'm going to say that those who can't bodybuild powerlift.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because they can't do the diet. You like to lift big weight? That's cool. I rather look like I lift big weight, I say, listen, no one ever got laid because they pulled 500 pounds. They got laid because they looked like they did. You know what I mean? And that's the thing too. Come on,
I'm not trying to hate.
I know,
but you got these dudes and they got these giant ass bellies. Cool, they could lift more than me, but
it's not cool. It's not that cool.
Maybe I'm at the stage of my life I'm about the vanity look.
I like the power bodybuilders. We call them power bodybuilders when they look like beefed up, like pretty yoked.
Look good that I was surprised. Cam.
Yeah. So like that.
We're gonna have to get Cam to send us a picture so I can put this on this. But if I could look like Cam or,
Cam is 25 years old, 26.
If I could look like Cam.
Played football for San Diego State.
Yeah, kid's a stud. Just runs these crazy fucking CrossFit triathlon things. He's weird, but I could never do that shit. Hey, teach their own, right?
Yeah.
Dude, kid's a stud, bro. I'm like, all right, that's a proportion. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, but no, I get that. I have all the respect in the world. If they do, or they are like on their diet, which a lot of them are because of weight caps and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of just eat shit and go lift big weight. To me, that's so easy. I don't understand that is, I could do that all day. And then do 3 reps and then wait 10 minutes to do it. What?
I'm gassed.
Yeah. No. I can, this is funny and they won't like this, but bodybuilders can do powerlifting workouts. You guys can't do the other way around. Powerlifters can't do bodybuilding workouts. They would absolutely die.
I believe it.
They would die.
I believe it.
And it's funny to watch them do auxiliaries because they have no fucking idea how to lift. Most of them. No fucking idea how to lift. I don't know what they're doing or what they're feeling, but I know that they have no idea. They're just looking on it and okay, I'm going to do that. But they cannot feel it. They're so focused on getting something A to B than feeling it through. And they just don't know.
Well, because you take us, and we could be lifting.
They're trying to make a weight easy as fuck. We're trying to take a weight, make it hard as fuck.
Yes.
That's it. This is different.
Or we could have 40 pounds, and I'm
roasted. Yeah.
We did shoulders.
15 strict. Done.
But then you see this giant dude next to you. He's got the 50s or 60s, but he's throwing everything in, and then here I am with a 15-pound, and I am. But everything is form, time under tension. And to me, that feels, I get more out of that than I would just grabbing an 80-pounder.
Well, and that's where less is more. So we both did the days of going into the gym, no plan, straight Western, and just like
slapping plates and moving weight.
Yeah. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Oh, the gym crush came in. Let's start over. Let's do that. Now it's 3 hours. Might as well do cardio. Like, what the fuck is that?
Instead of 4 hours in the gym?
Yeah. You're like, what? No.
I like the phase we're at now. An hour. We are almost
We're
out.
like an hour. We might be 40 minutes. We might be 120, but we're averaging an hour.
Yep.
Because I don't have time for that shit.
I'm cool with that. That's another check for me. I got shit to do.
No.
I'm not going to go to the gym.
You know how we lift is we're feeling it by the first lift. Like, it's rough.
Yes.
And that's how it should be.
Yes.
We're taking maybe 3, usually 2 sets, working sets, to absolute failure in like 3 lifts of that muscle group.
And we're done.
Done.
And I'm smoked.
That's all you need. But the days of like searching for a pump and like doing this and that and this and that, and it was never any routine. They're not doing that anymore.
Mm-mm.
And that's where I am glad I did that. Like, I learned through trial and error, and I learned all the bad shit. I can tell you what not to do. Like, I'll tell you, because I wish going back, I would have got a coach earlier that, when I was 20, like, hey, this is how you eat as an athlete. I would have done so much better as an athlete in college. They don't teach you how to eat. They don't teach you how to lift either.
No.
It's a big, big problem because powerlifting coaches are strength coaches. That's me and Elliot. You had Elliot on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Elliot talked about that. And that's where it goes back to, let's power clean. Let's just bench press. Let's
heavy
deadlift.
Squats, heavy deadlifts, which I
Why?
completely, for me personally, when I was in Kuwait, my buddy and I, we were actually on our way out of Iraq. We were in Kuwait and we hit the 1500 where you do a 500 deadlift.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? It wasn't 1500 because I got
1,000-pound club.
I got 4 on bench, 5 on deadlift, 4 something on squat, but maybe it was the 1,000 club. But they had I went at that Kuwaiti gym. Our names are on the fucking wall. They have the thing over there. Yeah. But dude, all my injuries came from squatting and deadlifts.
Yeah, heavy.
Stupid.
Yeah, joints are like, fuck you.
Stupid. Yeah. And I'm just.
Yeah.
Now I don't need it.
Got to do it anymore.
I don't need it. I don't feel like I need it.
And when you lift and you have purpose in that lift, you don't need to go heavy. You make it heavy.
Yeah.
And that's load on the muscle versus weight. And that took fucking years to like understand. But that's where I like to tell my youngsters, I wish I would have had, like, this is how you do it. Like, you're going to be way ahead. Just do this right now. But yeah, I think it is good. I learned all the bad shit so I can say, hey, don't do that.
Yeah. Listen from experience.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Let's talk sups.
Yeah.
You have been with Unmatched for a while. We had Chris on the episode.
Yeah.
And that was a great episode. I love Chris. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Let's talk the supplement world, the good and the bad, because I feel there's more bad than there is good in the supplement world.
Yeah. And it's a business. So I'm with Unmatched Subs. Pretty new brand by Chris Gethin and Doug Miller, and I have nothing but great things to say about it. I actually told Chris through a mutual friend, Elliot, that I got wind of him coming out with a supplement line because he had been with a company, a very popular company, years prior, and then so now he came out with more of his signature, like what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like. And I got wind of that, and I said, I will leave my current sponsorship 4 years just because I know that Chris stands behind quality over anything. That's why he left the last company. He will stand firmly behind all of his products.
So that's what separates for you.
Yes.
Is the quality. of
Yep.
the actual supplement.
100%, because in this industry, so many people are cutting in blends and just the cheapest way you can get something. I mean, you get it. Money.
Marketing.
It's money
business,
at the end of the day. But Chris is not going to cut it with blends. Yes, it's a higher price point. That's what you invest in for your health. But no artificial anything.
That's nice.
All natural. All of it.
Yeah.
And like the subs go further than just like, hey, this is creatine.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dude researched and added, I can't say the name, but our creatine is creatine.
Okay. And
GAA is an acid he combined with it to make it 4 times more absorbent.
Really? So you're getting more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's unheard of.
Because it's an extra cost.
Well, no, just because nobody goes the extra mile.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're like, yep, that's creatine. And good. Creatine monohydrate, pure, awesome. I think everyone should be taking it. But when Chris has found a way to make an already great product and go 4 times more absorbent, like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That you're uptaking 4 times more creatine, unreal.
Yeah.
And like, so I only take their stuff, right? So pre-workouts, when traveling, totally forgot all my steps going home. Had to go back to, I forget what brand, in a brand I've taken before, and it just sat in my stomach like a rock, and I completely noticed a difference in having this, because don't even think twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, gets like me in the zone. I know my body knows, yep, we're going. Because I do 1 scoop of the stem-free Dissident, and I do our higher stem, BH2K. But the BH2K doesn't have caffeine. We don't do caffeine. So it's just that metabolite, paraxanthine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge benefit in itself, because you could take it before you go to bed.
See, that's where after I had him on and we got, he sent me a box of the subs to try out. That's been my biggest problem. I don't sleep as it is.
Yeah.
And then I take these pre-workouts.
You can't do that.
And I'm fucking cracked out. I've never had any issue going to sleep after work. And then again, I'm not taking them late day. I think the latest I'll work out's like 4 or whatever.
But still,
when we
some
hit
people, they have it afternoon, they're done.
I'm one of those people. If I take
yeah.
any other pre-workouts,
you've noticed that half-life, it's out.
I don't. Yeah,
it's done.
I don't have any.
And that's the thing. It takes a little bit extra to get that metabolite,
Mm-hmm.
And who patented that? Chris is actually friends with that guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so paraxanthine came out with just single pills now as well. Or Unmatched came out with paraxanthine pills. So it's basically caffeine pills without all the shitty side effects of caffeine.
You were telling, I was telling, you told me about that the other day, and I came home and told Britt, and so I think she ordered some because she did the whole caffeine kick right now.
Dude, it helps, man. It's like I said, you could take it in the afternoon, not worrying about like, oh shit, I might not go to bed.
Yeah.
It's awesome, and so just sitting well in your stomach, the ISO way that he does, so it's grass-fed, free-range beef, and he sources it out of the United Kingdom. So it's
cleaner over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that's amazing. Like my daughter, she's 3, and she I can't make oats and mix it up without her stealing half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. So and he's got a lot more coming down the pipeline. But I mean, they've really taken care of me. Went to the Olympia, was our first event with them. It was awesome. And it's cool to see. For me, it's came full circle because going back to when I first started bodybuilding, This was like bodybuilding.com days.
Yeah.
Remember those days? Yeah. And Chris was one of their biggest athletes, had all his programs. And that was my first program I started following. It's called DTP, so Dramatic Transformation Principle. And that, was my first. That was extremely humbling. That's wild. If you ever get a chance, I think they're still on bodybuilding.com, but try that workout. That's like insane reps, 30, 40, 50 reps.
Oh, God.
Sets. Yeah. Wild. But no, it worked. And like I started buying Chris's subs with the other company back then. And this is before I even lived here. And like, Chris lives here.
Yep.
And just through mutual friends, somehow you became acquainted with Chris and on the team, and just wild because when we go to these events, you'll see people come up and show pictures of them and Chris like in India or in Miami like 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, which is he's an OG.
He's been in the game a long time.
One of the best trainers ever, right? So, and like it's insane to see that, and it's cool. Like he has literal fans. That's where the loyalty I love comes in. And these dudes. It was funny at the Olympia. One guy had DTP tattooed on him.
Really?
Because at the Olympia we had tattoos. You get tattoos, unmatched tattoos. Yep. And we'd hook you up with some subs. But it was the list was full, and you got to pick like whatever flash you wanted for unmatched. Yeah, it was full. So many people wanted it. Some of them was their second tattoo of Chris's.
What's it like working a booth at a show
So
like that?
I've done both, both kinds, if you will. So my last company was very high energy and was going like influencer. They're the newest thing, like this and that, because this was their American push.
Okay.
Because it was a UK company, great company.
Yeah.
But they were making a push, and it was like more energy drink and just the basics, like pre-workouts, energy drinks, protein. And it was cool, great guys, but their kind of marketing was going more like young influencer.
Okay.
And that's not me. Like I'm touted up old guy. I'm a dad. Like I'm not nothing special and nothing young anymore. So they're going that way, and I was like, it doesn't feel like my style. And that's when I went to the Arnold with them, came back, and then that's kind of when I heard in the summer was when Chris was starting to do his thing. So that's when I was like, this is a great time to like segue into that. Yeah. And it's been, I mean, you've seen Chris. He's tatted like us. He's what you see is what you get. Yep. That's way more my style, and he, just likes to train hard as fuck. Yep. That's it.
It's gotta be crazy for him trying to just go to a normal gym and not get swarmed, especially
here.
Overseas.
Yeah. Oh, when he goes to India, no, he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
He can't he can't go anywhere.
Crazy.
He has to have security. Like Elliot said they went to the F1 races, and he like couldn't go anywhere because there's so many Indians coming up to him. They love him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because he has all his gyms over there.
Our cultures are so different from the rest of the world and how they look at celebrities. Like you take like a Formula One racer, or a MotoGP racer. These guys racing fucking motorcycles and on the island, like, man. Dude, they would walk the streets and nobody even know who they are, and they go anywhere else in the world, and dude, they are just worshipped.
Yeah.
I mean, we worship like celebrities in this country when the rest of the world they worship athletes.
Yeah.
All soccer to
oh man.
You name it, and it's everything, and it's weird because I followed this guy years ago when I was really big into racing bikes, and he was an American boy that raced from Texas, and I remember watching an interview, and he's like, I could walk anywhere here in my own country and nobody knows who I am. Yeah. He's like, I step any foot in a European country where we race. He's like, I am full security. Yeah. It's just a different world.
It's insane.
It's weird. And if you could crack into those demographics like Chris has,
you're
set.
Oh yeah. No, and I mean, he's over there right now, actually. promoting, and I think he opened 1 or 2 of his gyms, new gyms, and he's promoting Unmatched over there.
Good.
Yeah, and doing a bunch of seminars. But no, it's really taken off. Like the booth, awesome. It's what I liked. It's not a crazy loud booth. We like to actually come out from around the booth and talk to people.
Yeah.
And Chris is always taking pictures with people and stuff, and just have a conversation. And I like that. And let's talk about the products. How have they helped you? Like questions. The last company I was with, I worked their booth, and I had a fucking speaker in my ear banging the whole time, and I'm like yelling at people, trying to explain product. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And like, so they brought me in. Of course, I was the oldest. This was 2 years ago now. And like the other athletes, if you will, that they brought in, just like deuced out. Like, oh, I don't got to work the booth. Like, thanks for flying me in. But
Really?
I'm just going to go check.
Oh, I'd be so bad.
That's what these young kids think.
That'd
They're so entitled.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because there's something on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you weren't shit in real life. But that's another convo. But yeah, they just deuced out. And I was like, okay, I'll be the adult here. And like, I was like one of the only people at the booth just helping out. And then it gets to be like, all day you're exhausted. So that I said if I was invited back, I would never go again because it was so exhausting at that booth. It was cool, like appreciate them flying me out and stuff, but it was way too much.
I bet.
Yeah, and when you see the young kids are just like fuck this, and you're just like what? Like this isn't a brand, like. And then going to Unmatched, everyone's like, man, the team's cool. Like we're flying around, slanging products, talking to people. It's just a good vibe.
It helps a lot, especially if it's like a 3, 4, 5 day show.
And that's why I said I'd go to Olympia and see how it was. And it was awesome. Like the booth wasn't overly crazy. It wasn't like dull by any means. It was steady flow like the whole day. And then it was even more packed at the Arnold.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So it was super cool. And like we got some of the Unmatched affiliates, got to meet up and lift with them too.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
That's cool.
And it's
man.
just it's literally, that's also cool. It's literally people that have followed Chris through his companies.
Yeah.
And as soon as they knew this is his, they were like, see you later to the other one.
Jumped.
Yeah. They're like, we're here for Chris because he stands behind the products.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I feel like as somebody that looks at the supplement world, it all comes down to influencers and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And they could literally have just dog shit covered in sugar and caffeine.
If they're the right people promoting it,
and there's lines out the door.
money. Yeah.
But the fact that there's a brand, and I don't know how many others, I only speak of this is because that's all I know, from having him on and him going through all of his subs and the process and everything. It was mind blowing. It was fascinating to listen to talk about.
No, it's crazy.
But it's good to see that somebody's actually putting a quality product out in the fitness
and
world.
Standing firm behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when the majority of these companies they're faceless, or they just have a bunch of influencers. They put a bunch of money into marketing.
Right.
And they're just slinging subs on Amazon, and they don't give a shit what's
they don't
going
care.
out the door.
Yeah. And like, no, that's wild you say that. Because, where was I going with this? What do you say? So, I totally lost my train of thought. Anyways.
Clean subs compared to shitty subs.
Oh, I totally forgot.
Is that your stomach?
Yeah.
That's this thing.
Oh. That was my stomach too.
Zach's like, it's been 3 hours. I got to eat.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say I had a story from Chris. Oh, yeah, sorry. So I tell him we're going to lift, right? And he's like, okay, I got a bunch of samples. We have to taste test the new pre-workouts.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, cool. Like, so we had a videographer there, and we're going to film it. And we're literally mixing up, and I thought like 1 or 2. He has like 10. And I'm like, he's like mixing full ones up, and he's like, oh, trying that. But where I'm going with this is like he wants the flavor perfect.
Okay.
There was like 4 different kinds of grapes, like
yeah.
all this. So he's like, what do you think? And like it's hard because the dissident, that's nitrates in there. Like that's gonna taste a little different as a grape than a BH2K, where not as many nitrates, and you have that paraxanthium in there.
He's going it goes that deep.
Oh, if he doesn't like it, like I've seen it. He's like, nope. He's like, that one's okay. It needs a little bit of this. Like he knows. It's not gonna be, that's okay. Let's do it. It has to be nuts on.
No shit.
Yeah, but we did. We took like 10 pre-workouts, then lifted legs, and it was a hard fucking leg day, and I ended up throwing up all that shit. All of it. He has video of it too. Oh yeah. That was where I was going with that. I was like, dude, never again. Let's not do that.
Let's not do all the
Or let's keep it to like 1 or 2. But no, we had like 10. Like the whole bench was like, and then he'd be mixing, here, try that, try this. Like, holy shit. So I'm just overstimulated, ready to go. It's leg day. Yeah. But no, that was a good one. Yeah. Anytime you lift with Chris, like, yeah you got to get your mind right.
Oh yeah.
For
I
sure.
feel like that with you. Well,
Yeah.
dude, I appreciate you.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm excited, man,
We'll get you going.
to get this going. I
Mhm.
want to get back. I want to get back on track.
It's time.
It's been long enough.
Yep.
I've gotten through the injuries. I've slowing down. We're getting rid of wishes.
Yeah.
I got time on my plate now.
Yep.
And so
No, it's good.
I
I'm
think
excited.
now's a perfect time. 40. Cool. When I
Yeah.
turn my goal, I turn 41 in August, the end of August, beginning of August 30th.
Oh, there we
I would
go.
love to have a 6-pack by then.
Yeah. Let's do that. That's the
my
goal
goal.
then. That's the goal then. And we'll keep you accountable.
Yeah, we're putting this on the
Yeah,
fucking internet.
This is on the line.
Yeah.
It's on the line.
Okay, so August 30th.
Yeah.
My goal is to have a 6-pack.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Let's fucking do it, dude.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's on
That's it. August
August 30th.
30th.
I turned
Okay.
41. I want a 6-pack.
Yep. Back to fighting weight.
I would like to be 235, 240.
Okay. And you're what, 260?
655, 260. I fluctuate.
Yep.
So I would like to be the 235, 240 lean 235, 230. I would settle for 230, but I don't want to get below 230. I think
Okay. Let's do it.
that's not
Yeah, and we'll document. We'll show everybody.
Fuck, dude. Okay.
Let's do that.
It's going on the internet. We have to do it now.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Hell yeah.
You don't even know. You don't even know the fucking beast that's about to come out. All right, we're doing it. Well, dude, thank you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, and
Yeah,
I
thanks for having me on.
appreciate all the help in the gym and
No doubt.
letting my old ass tag along and,
Yeah.
and move some weight with you.
All
But
good, man. It's
yeah,
fun.
this is gonna be cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. Thanks for coming on and sharing. I hopefully unless there's more you want to share, but
No, I'm good.
I feel that
You can have me on some other time.
well, fuck it,
Yeah, I'm right down the road.
literally 4 minutes, so
Yeah, right?
that helps.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks, dude. I appreciate the
no
time
worries,
and,
man.
and the insight on a little bit of the industry and what some guys should look out for, and
Wild.
yeah, we're gonna do this.
Sweet. Yep.
I'm
let's do it.
excited, man. All right, I'm gonna start with a fast though. Then we're gonna roll
Okay.
right into
Blood
it.
work.
Blood work, fast. We're doing it.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
I wonder how many days we have. We gotta figure that out.
Yeah, get the countdown.
20th. Yeah, we gotta be.
5 months.
Oh fuck! I feel. Let's do it in 90 days.
We can do it however fast you want.
All right.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Let's do it.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Is that a good one?
That was an easy one.
That was great.
That was easy.
That was good.
Yeah?